To much of the outside world, this is Iraq, smoke rising above embattled cities like Fallujah. There is smoke and fire, too, at Iraq's Majnoon oil field, but it has a different meaning here and at Iraq's other oil facilities, one of hope and potential power as Baghdad looks to triple output while working with neighboring Iran. The Washington Institute's Simon Henderson.
Baghdad and Tehran get on very well together, and they are vying against Saudi Arabia, which is the other major power in the Gulf. The energy side of it is that oil and gas is the main component, the main weapon which these countries can use against each other.
Officials with the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries have downplayed the impact of increased production from Iraq and Iran. Tehran hoping to use progress in nuclear talks with world powers to lift sanctions on its oil industry. But for the Saudis, the math is worrying. Saudi Arabia has long been OPEC's dominant player, with a proven oil reserve of about 267 billion barrels. That's far ahead of Iran with 151 billion barrels worth of reserves, and Iraq with 143 billion barrels. But combined, Iran and Iraq would have the capacity to possibly shift the balance of power in the region. A cause for concern given the face-off in a proxy war in Syria, where Saudi Arabia is helping to arm rebel groups, while Iran backs the Syrian government, helping to keep it in power. But for now, at least, experts like Nader Habibi at Brandeis University expect Iran to keep the focus on oil.
Especially because Iran has economic problems and the government is more focused on trying to resolve those issues and improve the economic condition, and that requires a more cooperative and more moderate foreign policy.
Iran's leaders have said little publicly about cooperating with Iraq on oil production, though they have reached out to Russia about potential oil deals. As for Iraq, U.S. State Department spokeswoman Jen Psaki had this to say.
As we've made very clear, not just to Iraq, but to any country in the global community, as a matter of policy, engaging with Iran's energy sector runs risks, including violating and running afoul of U.S. and international sanctions.
Oil industry experts also caution that for all the noise, Iraq and Iran will want to be careful, worry of taking any action that could send oil prices and profits spiraling downward. Jeff Selden, VOA News, Washington.